Hello, and welcome to this episode of Coffee with Chuck. This may be one of the last episodes of Coffee with Chuck because, as you heard, we are going to change the name to Espresso Yourself with Chuck, and we will have different opening, different logo. It's primarily going to be the same type of show, if you will. We'll be talking to hopefully interesting people and talking about a lot of different career paths and opportunities. Also spreading in some advice and just kind of chatting occasionally, which is what today is about. I just wanted to visit about life a little bit, and part of this is because my son just went to boot camp. He signed a contract with United States Navy, and he is, as I'm recording this, in his first week at Recruit Training Command in Great Lakes, Illinois, which is the only place the Navy does boot camp. So he's there with a lot of other recruits, and it's going to be about an 8-week process. This week and the next week will probably be the toughest ones, at least mentally, from what I understand. But it's going to be a great opportunity for him. Once he gets through basic training, he will go to another training facility in Mississippi to learn how to do the job he wants to do, and then he'll get his assignment, and I think at this point he's hoping to work on an aircraft carrier, which would be really cool. But anyway, he's got to go through the process first before he gets on to that first duty station. And that's a little bit about what I want to talk about today is process and do some of the things you do, or maybe make some of the choices you make. And it kind of relates to the JAG model. We have 87 competencies in the JAG model, 37 core competencies, and we talk about a lot of different things within the JAG model. We talk about career and leadership development skills. We talk about community service, civic awareness. We do a lot of things. We learn about resume building, job interview skills, a lot of different opportunities to be prepared for what's beyond high school. And a lot of these things, if it's like one of your regular classes, you wonder, why am I taking algebra? I'll never use algebra. The fact is, you will use algebra. You may not know that you need algebra or that it could help you solve a problem you are trying to solve, but algebra will be useful once you graduate from high school. Believe me, it's happened many times for me personally, and I wish I would have paid more attention and retained more information from my algebra classes, because it could have saved me a lot of time trying to solve problems. So the other thing I wish I knew, somebody asked me the other day, what's something you wish you knew as a student? And my response was that the adults around me really knew what they were talking about. At the time, as a 16 or 17-year-old high school student, I pretty much thought I had a firm grasp on what life was about. And even though guidance counselors were saying you really need to develop good study skills, I thought, I'm getting good grades now. Not really having to try that hard. Now, granted, I wasn't taking the most difficult classes in school, but I was getting good grades, top 12% in my class, 12 or 13% in my class. So I wasn't the valedictorian, but I was in the the top academically, but not really taking heavy class load of difficult classes. I was in the singing group and gym aid, and not in calculus or chemistry. So those results were a little bit skewed, but I was still getting decent grades and not having to try too much. What my guidance counselor said was absolutely spot on. To succeed in college, to get really good grades in college, I needed to adopt better study habits. And I did, but then I won't say that I necessarily got great grades because I got sidetracked in doing other things. But the point is, my counselor knew what he was talking about. My parents knew what they were talking about, even when I didn't think maybe they did. So with perspective, as a 55-year-old man, I now understand and know a whole lot more than I did when I was 16 or 17. I wish I would have been a little bit more curious when I was in high school and asked more questions and tried to get insight into what adults were trying to tell me for my own benefit. And I see that a little bit with my own kids occasionally. As you may know, I have 4 children, aging in range from 23, 21, 18, and 16. So I still have 2 in high school. One is a graduating senior. But oftentimes I see myself in them when they think they probably know a whole lot more about me, or a whole lot more than I do. I don't know that made sense. They think they know more than I do, basically, even though I've lived a whole lot more life than they have, and have failed many times and learned a lot of lessons just because of being older and going through many more experiences. But getting back to how this applies to JAG or JAG-K, there are things we teach that may not be obvious as to why we do it, what value it will be long term. Now, some things are obvious. Learning how to write a resume, how to interview for a job, those are all pretty obvious things. But we do some things within JAG-K that may be why we do it. We have something called the Individual Development Plan, and that's something every one of you should have. It's something that we should be starting with you as soon as you enter the JAG-K program. And it's really about setting a course for your future, doing career exploration, trying to set goals so you can reach the bigger goal of whatever career you think you may want to be in. If you don't know what career, we want to know what interests you, because then we can explore careers that match your passions and your skill set. So the IDP is really important, but if you don't know why we do it, it may not seem relevant to you or this program, but it's really the foundation of everything we do in JAG-K. Our goal is to help you graduate from high school and get on a successful career path. This document, the IDP, is the roadmap for your future success. And so it's our responsibility to make sure we are doing that and doing it well in partnership with you. You are an active participant in these individual development plans. So that's something that as an organization we're actually trying to do a better job on, are the IDPs. And that's why, because it's really important to your outcome. And so we need you to participate in the process, but we also need to do our part. The reason we have competitive events, it's not because we want to give people trophies, although that's fun, and it's really exciting to give people medals and teams trophies. The reason we have those events is so you can practice the skills you're learning in JAG-K. Public speaking, most people's greatest fear. If you can medal in public speaking, you're way ahead of most people, adults included. Financial literacy. We just had numerous students win scholarships by just writing an essay on financial literacy. And so these are all things that will be important as you grow older and as you get into the workforce or whatever your post-secondary pursuits are. So I just wanted to spend a little bit of time chatting about that. This is going to be a shorter episode, but everything we do within JAG-K is to help prepare you for a successful future. We don't define success for you. We just help you accomplish it. Have a great day and enjoy your coffee. Thanks for watching Coffee with Chuck. Please subscribe below, and you may want to check out the video that's attached.